Hello, welcome to Lemon Series, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Marvel's What If Season 3, Episode 6. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way, shall we? I'm going to leave a like, comment below, let them know your thoughts on Marvel's What If, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into a YouTube career. I will greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So this is the episode where they just asked, what if we had a Western? That's simply what it was. And, we're going to center around Shang Chi, and we're going to have Hawkeye in there as well. And we're just going to see what happens. Because, they kind of talked about that up front within it, with the Watcher going, hey, there's a bunch of infinite possible realities. And they even show Frog, Thor, and Alligator Loki that we saw from Loki Season 1. And, there's just multiple possibilities of how wacky it can get. And they even say, look, you can't really think of this as what if, you gotta think of it more as what the hell. And I do feel like when the writers were getting together to structure this season, I do feel like that was the approach to this episode. It was them just going, what the hell, let's do a Western, who's in it? Shang-Chi? Yeah, that works. Hawkeye? Yeah. It was almost like those mad libs. You know what I mean? And, it still stays within the overall theme of this season, which is the pairings. We had Captain America and Hulk in episode 1. And, and so on and so forth. Besides yesterday's episode with Riri, there has always been those two characters that pair up. This time, it is Shang-Chi and Hawkeye. And, what's different from this one and from the others is that there was a moment that, sets that off. Sam is a counselor, and so he's trying to counsel Hulk, and the Hulk just was like, man, not even the counseling can help me, and that's what sets him off, and that kind of turns him into Godzilla, right? Agatha wants to be an actress. She wants to get all the Eternals. That's how you get Ringo in there, and they're in this big, huge studio production, and they're doing this dance, and then that's where it sets off from over there. What if the Red Guardian literally stopped the Winter Soldier from killing Tony Stark's parents? You get the picture, right? Like, there was something that happened within the MCU where one moment really changed everything. There really wasn't that in this whatsoever. They really were just like, hey, what the hell? We're going to do a Western episode, and this is kind of what's going to be the scenario of it. I do like some of the stuff that we did within it. They really keep it grounded and layered, because they really did was just like, look, this is a Western. There's no actual 10 rings, but if that's his thing, you have to call the bell 10 times, and then he will appear. I did like that. I do kind of wish they kept the fantasy element of it, since these 10 rings have been around forever. When we did watch Shang-Chi for the first time, that they have been around for a millennium. And I just do think, you could have kept them in here. But I get it. They were really trying to keep it grounded for the most part until, we got onto that ship. And then, we got to the whole Hood stuff. And it looks like the Hood is just a magical ability when, to me, the pretty obvious twist that his sister was the Hood the whole entire time, or she took over the Hood. And, I like the whole story of it, the bringing around, Asian immigrants and how, trying to keep a pressure under them. And I liked all those aspects within it. The issues I have with this episode that really brings it down a couple of notches where, I even said in my immediate reaction on TikTok, I was like, look, out of the 6 episodes, I do think this might be 6 for me. And that's not to say this episode is bad. I don't. I still had a good time watching it. I was still very much engaged. Again, I like the themes that we did with it. I like how grounded it was. I like how much we embraced it. I think Simu Liu and Haley Steinfeld had amazing chemistry. It really felt like they were in the booth. Like I've been saying with all the pairings in the past. It's just that, I guess since this didn't stem from a scenario, this really truly wasn't what if for me. It was, like they said, what the hell? And at the end of the game, I can get down with what the hell. I truly can. But I just liked how when we just took one moment and then it just changed everything for the most part, as opposed to, yeah, this is just a completely different universe and it's a Western. I also wasn't a huge fan of that. The only thing within this episode that made it worthy to check this out, I wish we had a break before we did what we did at the end of this, where, yeah, the Watcher is just starting to intervene like crazy. And, he sees this kid, and I guess usually this kid dies, and this universe also goes to crap, and the Hood does win. And because you need that kid alive in order for him to hit the bell 10 times, and it breaks everyone out. It breaks Hawkeye out. She's able to kill the person who killed her family, which was voiced by Walton Goggins. It was cool hearing him again. It was also cool hearing Wyatt Russell again at the very beginning before, before Shang Chi kicks all their butts, but before his hat even hits the ground. Liked all of that. It was just one of those things. I'm just like, wow. You kept talking about yesterday how you cannot intervene, you cannot intervene, you cannot intervene. And then this one moment, you did it because you were just sick of seeing sad scenarios. And I guess that explains this one, because this was supposed to be another sad scenario. Because at the end he goes, oh wow, look, another new, another world with a much more happier outcome. And then the other Watchers had to come in, yeah, because of you, dumbass. You're not supposed to do that. You took an oath, and we took an oath too. So now we got to take you down. And now the world's starting to break a little bit. And now we have 2 episodes left to see where we are going. And I just really wish we had a break, because I really just feel like, well, I did it once, so who cares at this point? I'm just going to do whatever. I'm going to flick them over here so this kid stays alive. We're going to see what happens here. Okay, cool, whatever. Now, I do think What If it's going to have at least a cameo in Doomsday or in Secret Wars, where we will see the Watcher. Because, yeah, Jeffrey Wright has an amazing voice. But I also think you don't get Jeffrey Wright if you don't plan on using him in live action as well. Because he is a phenomenal talent. And I think, we will see him as the Watcher. And, us diehards who did watch everything, and we did watch What If, we're going to go, holy cow, it's the Watcher! And he's going to end in this, and he's actually going to be able to intervene, and he's going to do whatever he pleases, because he just wants to see how these outcomes looks, instead of just watching and then either being really sad or being happy if it does work out. But yeah, that is the main thing that really bugged me within it, because it really did seem like in the grand scheme of things, and we could see Shang-Chi again, we could see Hawkeye again, hell, we could see that little kid again who kind of stepped up and then got the help from the Watcher in order to have his big moment in this episode to help him out in the finale, because he's gonna get some other people to help him against these other Watchers, and it's probably gonna be the people from this season. Maybe we'll get the people from season 2. I imagine Captain Carter is gonna come into play, because she actually knows about the Watcher, and then maybe some season 1 people as well. But yeah, it was just one of those episodes where I was just like, just felt like you needed to cram up an episode, and this is what you came up with. Again, I like the stuff that we did, and at the end of the day, this is an anthology series where every episode is new, so you can't call it filler. And there was some things that progressed forward. It was just at the very end, and it was in 1 second of this episode where, again, yeah, I think it just ranks 6. I think it goes 6 at the bottom, and then 1 over that, and then maybe 5, because I wasn't a huge fan of some of the execution. And then after that, it's probably Howard and Darcy in the 3 spot, Red Guardian and Bucky in 2, and then Agatha and Kringo at on episode 2 for me at the number 1 spot. But yeah, still got a couple more episodes to go. I'm really curious to see how this ends. I am kind of sad that the show is ending, because I am enjoying this season. And again, I just feel like they did finally figure out the What If concept. They just figured it out too late, and it just is what it is. But maybe the show can come back later. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about it down in the comments. If you made it this far within the review, please leave a like. I do greatly appreciate that. And hit that subscribe button, as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. We have a lot of things planned for 2025. We're covering all the Marvel shows. We're going to get some DC in there too. Creature Commandos is up if you want to check out that review. If you're into wrestling, we do that as well. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.